As soon as it loads.
Have we started yet?
It's loading.
Close enough. I'd like to reconvene and call the meeting to order for the Nisswa Planning Commission Board of Adjustment Tuesday, August 4th, 2020 at 6. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, to approve the meeting minutes for Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes?
No, so move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is an open forum. Is there anyone present that would like to speak towards anything not on the agenda this evening? Seeing none, I am moving on to public hearings, and I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So move.
I'd like to reconvene and call the meeting to order for the Nisswa Planning Commission Board of Adjustment Tuesday, August 4th, 20. I like that guy's voice.
We gotta. I gotta go. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. You good? Okay. First item is a conditional use permit application 012-20 to allow the construction and operation of a service and retail business. The subject property is located on the intersection of County Road 18 and State Highway 371. PID 281-20666. Owner Paul and Patricia Dullum, applicant Bob Johnson. Brittany, your staff report.
My apologies. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to construct and operate a service and retail business, a miniature golf course on 4.24 acre parcel located on the southwest corner of the County Road 18 and State Highway 371 roundabout. The subject property is zoned central business. In your findings of facts, it does not fill in the impervious surface coverage. It's 9%. They're allowed 90%, so they're well within that. I also contacted our wetland expert to confirm with the entrance coming in so close to that wetland, what our options were. She was comfortable as long as we built a berm to avoid direct runoff from the entrance into the wetland. She was comfortable with that as long as you guys are.
All right, is there anybody in the audience that would like to make a public comment towards the project? Hearing none, I will close public comments. Bob, if you want to come to the front here. Yes.
I get to remove this.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Robert Johnson, address 10392 Squaw Point Road, East Gull Lake, Minnesota.
All right, do you want to kind of explain the project and then we'll go with.
All right. The project is to construct an 18-hole mini golf course with 9 holes, ADA compliant and wheelchair accessible, a 64 by 120 foot parking lot to accommodate traffic, and I think it's 1,600 square foot, not sure what's on there, pad for a clubhouse. However, that is not all clubhouse, that is also patio and seating area around the clubhouse for people to wait. So that'd be the absolute maximum size. I just put it in there so Anderson Brothers could calculate the impervious coverage and the stormwater retention amounts for the parking lot and clubhouse. Yeah, that's, I think, it. I did have the Harris Mini Golf Company out of New Jersey add in a walkway along the east side of the clubhouse for possible future expansion, but that wouldn't be for a number of years down the road.
How many parking spots are there?
Currently, there are 24. one of them's handicapped, so it's got the double parking spot. I think that's what the final number was.
Is that gonna be enough?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question for me. I don't know. I know that Pirates Cove, when they initially built their 18-hole course, had 24 spots. After that, they've expanded and they've added racing and everything else. So they're bigger now, but their initial spot was 18 holes and 24 spots.
That's fine.
Did that company give you an idea of what the occupancy would be at one time?
They don't talk.
No.
They don't share any information at all.
Okay.
No.
I mean, from the development that's having you design the plans, did they have an idea of what?
Maximum, I think they say 80 at any one time.
Okay.
You know, and then you look at how many ride in the car, there's questions. And then our location being by the bike trail, I think we will have some people coming that way. And then also downtown Nisswa. They'll be going to the Dairy Queen and walking down.
Did you say 80, like 80 capacity?
I think, yeah, they went by 18 holes and having 3 point something on each hole or 4 on each hole was maximum.
Okay.
But, you know, I have a family of 7, and when we golf, there's 7 on a hole. So
Yeah.
that's just the numbers they use when they try to give you information to calculate your flow of people through there.
Perfect.
Anybody else have any questions?
Will there be roadside, will there be a signage for the thing?
There will be, I
I
have
mean, we
not,
looked at the billboards there, but I mean, are you going to have your own signage?
we'll have something. I don't know what, where, or anything. I'm assuming that's something that we can work through Brittany with the sign ordinance and everything else. You know, Pirates Cove has a maybe 4x6 cedar sandblasted sign that they have out front.
Yeah.
That's kind of the quality level that we're going for without the pirate ship. So that'll be what we would be shooting for, is something to that effect eventually.
Mr.
And is
Chair.
this the name, Wilderness?
It was when I submitted this. It is morphed and changed over time. My initial thought was a Paul Bunyan up north Lumbertown type look. Since then, we have kind of broadened it more to something like North Woods Adventure Golf, which would allow us to utilize adventure. Mini golf places have props, and those, we don't have any of those listed on here, but they might have a Paul Bunyan statue here or a bear statue here, you know, photo ops around. Something like a Northwoods Adventure Golf or Nisswa Adventure Golf allows us more flexibility in bringing in things to put on the different holes to tell the story as you go through. Whereas Lumbertown or the wood cutting and the Paul Bunyan was very limiting as we started thinking about 18 holes were.
Well, we're far from Wilderness. I mean,
Yeah.
this, you know, you're in the little city. and
Yep.
in Wilderness
That's
area.
why North Woods is kind of where we're leaning right now. Or my wife wants Nisswa, I want North Woods. It will probably be Nisswa.
There's always the old colloquialism, you know, up north.
No,
Mr. Chairman,
pretty darn good.
question. Bob, I'm looking at this easement
Yes,
document. In the second sentence here, it says the guarantee to construct a permanent street or road for a one-family dwelling.
Yep.
That's what the easement is for.
Yep.
But you're not doing a one-family dwelling, so
this easement, Mr. Harris, I believe, at the last meeting asked about easement through this property to get further south for potential development. This is an easement coming from the south to get to the property that's south of me. So I just dug this up to
It comes through up to this property.
answer Mr. Harris's.
That easement
Yeah.
appears to have nothing to do with your development.
Nope.
Other than
Nope.
service the property to
Yep.
the south.
I just wanted to make sure. And then on the third page of the application,
Okay,
The signature of the property owner is Patricia, right?
Yes,
But at the end of her name, there's an asterisk, and there's no place on the sheet that shows what the asterisk is for.
I don't know. I
Is
don't
there
know, other
some
than
reason
that's,
somebody else signed for her?
No. nope, I brought these up to her for her to sign. She lives in Pequot Lakes. And no, the only thing I think is that's how she signs her name. I didn't even notice it.
I think it might be an indication of where she needed to sign because it's in a different
Oh.
ink color.
It's a different ink color. Somebody else has added.
There we
that.
go.
Yeah, it's a different
Either-
ink color.
Brittany or myself then did that. Sorry.
Well, we got, it happened to us once before where somebody came before us to do development and they didn't have permission. That's why I'm
Mhm,
questioning.
right.
Is everybody happy with this or
I'm
not?
comfortable with it.
Okay. I have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
On the, in the information provided, it says there are 7 light posts. I went through and I could only find 5.
Okay.
I don't know where your others 2 are. They're not on the drawing as far as I can tell. So well, you can look at that. And the question of the billboards came up during the review and you can't do anything about that, right?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. All 3 of them?
Correct.
Okay, all 3 of them. Proposed signage for the golf club.
Okay.
You'll have to go through the regular process of getting a permit for a sign, but where would the sign be located if you get one?
If, when that happens, it'll be somewhere out visible from Highway 371. I would assume would be the best, most, place that would make the most sense.
You should have that indicated on the plan then, to make sure, and so that you know where it's gonna go, we know where it's gonna go.
Okay.
The clubhouse, according to ordinance, we need exterior treatments and materials. Do you have that someplace?
Correct. It'll be wood. I submitted elevations. I don't know what the design will be. It'll be either log or board and batten or cedar siding.
Well, the ordinance says exterior treatments, materials, and a floor plan,
And the floor plan is also included.
but we haven't seen it, only
Nope,
Brittany's seen
that
it.
came today. That was one of the things that I just noticed this morning.
Is the floor plan still of the 1,600 square feet?
I don't
or
have
the smaller
I don't
building?
have dimensions on there. I
But
think
you are
I
gonna
went
be
24 by 30 maybe now. And after that, I think it's going even smaller still. I don't have a need for the space, and quite honestly, the budget is going quite high, quite fast. You only need about 120 square feet to actually do the transactions. So you can get by in a 10 by 12 storage building. We are going to have t-shirts and some stuffed animals, stuff that works together with the concept. And then obviously we need a bathroom and a utility closet, that type of thing. So,
Ordinance also calls for a signed architectural plan,
yep, this is under 1,500 square feet.
but the architect signed plan is in-house now?
This will, if I read it correctly, it was for over 1,500 square feet of floor space. You need an architectural plan signed by an architect. This will be significantly smaller.
But we don't have it yet.
We're not gonna get it. That's not required for that smaller building.
Right.
Well, according to ordinance, it says you need it.
Is that correct?
Well, when I read it, unless I misread it, it said we need an exterior treatment and materials and floor plans, and it needs to be signed by an architect.
While Miss Brittany's looking, these are the, if you can see them, the light locations.
Yeah, I just counted.
They're hard to find unless
The
you,
little red one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sheet 5 of 10, and they show the 7 lights.
Yes.
Okay,
If you look at the actual application
yeah.
of the CUP, the second to last one says conformance certification
all commercial buildings between 1,500 square feet.
Okay,
That's what we do.
okay. What are all the little numbers?
As far as I can tell, those are illumination, numbers of illumination of some kind. So you can see when it gets off of the edge of the course, it drops significantly.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I could figure out. And this is based on their recommendation. Um, You know, I don't know anything about the lighting. That'd be something to tweak down, but this would be the maximum lighting that we would have on there that I can imagine having.
Well, we always go for downlighting.
Yep.
Especially the 7 big ones that are
Yep.
going to be up in the air, higher than the highway. So if you're driving on the highway and you're looking up towards the lights, there might be a glare. You might want to look at that to see if that's a problem or not. I'll stop there and let somebody else do it.
Bob, do you even have any background music or noise?
That's a good question. A lot of these are wired for sound, but if it is, it's very soft. I would guess I would wire speakers in there. Our hours of operation right now, I would imagine 10 to 10 would be the max. So 12-hour operation, we wouldn't be open past 10.
Is that the city, we have lighting and elevations and, is there any ordinance regarding that or not really?
There's on all of those, yes. The lighting, sound, all that,
But I mean for noise.
yes. It's within, how did it go? You're commercial, so you're allowed to be 60 decibels for 50% of the hour, and I think 55% of the decibels for the remainder. I can get you the exact
Okay.
ordinance, but I know it's something around 60 decibels.
That wouldn't be a problem.
Mark, did you have any questions?
Well, I guess just, is the clubhouse facility going to have restrooms for the public?
One unisex restroom.
Yeah, okay, well, so that's why you're hooking up the city sewer then.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And I do not have the well placement on here because I'm not sure where the best place to hook up to the city sewer is going to be. So that well placement will be,
Yeah, well, you
Based on
you
that.
have sufficient area. for
yeah,
wells.
exactly.
That's-
That was one of the check marks I saw on the list too that I didn't have checked.
I guess the only, I'll offer the site plan that was submitted, I understand it's a rough draft still being worked out, so when you get it. But as Brittany's commented, that was gonna be one of my comments, is that your parking lot, well, they say swale, most of your parking lot's gonna drain right directly into the wetland the way it's currently, and I understand it's just preliminary, so whoever finalizes your grading for the, once you get your clubhouse size,
Yep.
you know it's orientated, then they're gonna have to look at just revising some contours essentially so the parking lot runoff, enters your stormwater basin and just doesn't literally split right across into the wetland.
Correct.
So
That'll be Anderson Brothers to finalize that because they're the ones who are
and they
designing.
have grade to work with and
Yep.
stuff, but they just.
Yep.
Yep, I understand they were just trying to get a general shape of this. So that's the comment I just, as far as I guess the city's gonna need a much more, well, along with a true impervious surface calculation, so you have it for the file.
Yep.
And then, like you say, we'll be just looking at something as you got back from the, right now, we're running water into the wetlands, so we'll have to fine tune their plan and come back with it.
Did you have an additional question?
Just one more question. Looking at the County Road 18 roundabout, your property is not that close to it. Are you going to blacktop the access Miley Road all the way up to the roundabout?
I had no intention of doing that. No,
So you're going to leave that dirt?
correct.
Is there a problem with that?
Well, I guess the one question right now, the city does not maintain that road.
Right.
And again, summertime operation, so I
Right.
would anticipate the city, will not begin maintaining that road because it's an unimproved surface. So
Mhm.
similar to, until the road is brought up to city standards, the city will not be taking it over or will not be maintaining it.
Well, I was just wondering, when the county put the roundabout in, I don't know if they anticipated traffic going in there like we're looking at right now, and I just wondered if it's designed well enough to handle the traffic turning in and out. That was my question, I guess.
Well, it does have a turnout to the right.
Yeah.
you know, but
Well-
it goes nowhere right now.
The question we'll have to investigate if this goes forward is, right now, they just really did a curb cut to get the snow drifters in there.
Mhm.
I'm thinking they might actually need to do some formal radiuses to better define the in and out, because it's a little rough.
Mhm.
And, and I would anticipate there will be, in the summertime, there very well could be 100 to 150 vehicle movements in and out of here. That's not a big number, but it's
Right.
10 times.
It's more
what
than it is now. Yes.
Plus, it's the general public.
Yep.
The snow drifters know where they're going now, but, so I would offer, based on what you see there, we're gonna have to, Tom will have to bring this up, the city will have to bring it up to Crow Wing County engineers, Rob and Tim, and just let them know.
Is Smiley Road there from the circle, from the roundabout, coming down to the south, where it arcs around there, kind of curve? Is Smiley Road actually a city street? I mean,
Yes.
The city of Nisswa owns this property, correct?
I will say that's yet to be cleared up.
Correct.
They're
Or
working
is this property, I was wondering if maybe the underlying title on this is Dulam or somebody. That's not,
As of right now, it's owned by the county. Next month's meeting, we'll be clearing up that section, and that area, if I remember correctly, will be returning to the city.
okay, so, but it will be public right away
Yes.
from the roundabout down to his property, all the way to their property?
Yes.
I don't know, it seems to me like the final project is less than adequate if you've got, less than well-maintained, just a gravel road coming into your place. It just seems like it'd be so much better to have bituminous coming in off that circle. That's something you'd have to negotiate with the city, of course,
And wouldn't you
Could
have to
end up
have
being
some
your
kind of
cost, I
signage
think.
saying entrance to mini golf? I mean, otherwise
Probably.
people are gonna go, how do I get into this place?
Probably.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep. I'm gonna guess that'll be a conversation with the drifters, some way to block that off or gate it or something in the summertime. Otherwise, people will use that space. Yeah, I
Mhm.
pretty much guarantee it.
I see some bureaucratic nightmares coming out. of this,
Mhm.
Trying to figure out how you're gonna make this look right, come in and to perform adequately. And keep the drifters come in. You almost need a Y. One goes into the drifters and one goes
Yeah.
over to,
Right.
to the left to yours. And I don't know how you do that.
I'm of the assumption, maybe that's wrong, that the directional signage and stuff like that would be handled through them, the sign ordinance through the city and through Brittany.
No parking here.
But if that
And no
ended up
parking.
getting paved in there by the city, if you
Yep.
requested the city to do that, they'd be looking at people to assess, the adjoining owners, and I suspect that the snowmobile club, the drifters.
Wouldn't be
are gonna
happy.
Say, hey, you're not.
Yep.
You're probably gonna end up getting saddled for the whole cost. That's just where I'm headed.
Right.
Are the drifters maintaining that dirt road right now? I mean, who's
Yes.
there? Okay.
What's your timetable?
My goal was to start construction this fall.
Mhm.
Get it through the main construction and landscaping, and then bring the company back in the spring to do the fine touches of the carpeting, and gives me the winter to get the clubhouse finished and ready to open in the spring of 2021.
You've got on the application, bike rentals, and haven't heard anything about talking about that.
That was initially when I was in discussion with the drifters, and that is a much larger building than I would need for a clubhouse and a gift shop. So somebody had mentioned on the board here, what about bike rentals, since we lost Easy Riders? So I put it in there. I don't have room. Honestly, there's no room for the parking or anything.
Yeah.
So that's on null and void with
That's
me,
off the books.
off the books. It's retail and mini golf.
And this was without a bike shop now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Too bad in a way.
I know. It'd be a great opportunity for the
Lost opportunity last year.
drifters could do something with that because they don't utilize their space in the summer. It'd be a great opportunity for somebody to come in and do that.
All right.
If they're interested in bicycles.
Yeah, exactly.
Any additional comments? Okay. I will entertain a motion.
No, wait a minute, I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
We've got there's a meets and bounds land split on are we just dealing with that tonight and are we dealing with approving this project to move ahead into final plans and construction? So I mean, it won't come back to us once the final plans, the grading plans that Mark's talking about. We won't see that again, is that correct?
It's up to you guys. If you want to table it and then see the grading plan then at the next meeting, we can certainly do that. Or if you approve the plan and then Mark Hallen and I just approve the final grading plan, it's whatever you guys are comfortable with. But we could, if we do the latter, we should add it as a condition.
Okay, no, I'm asking the question only. I don't have a feeling one way or the other. I trust the city staff as to what they're doing, and it seems like this project is heading in the right direction. So I don't have a problem with us approving it with basically, based on what we're seeing, conditional that the final plans are approved by the city engineer and the staff, prior to proceeding to construction. So does that sound where we're going, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I just didn't know which came first here, the chicken or the egg.
Well, if you're going to move to approve it tonight, you should make it contingent upon the meets and bounds subdivision application being approved next. If you don't approve the meets and bounds, then this thing doesn't work. Just a technical.
Right.
Would you like to make a motion?
Hmm.
I think I made it. I'm just we just got to add in,
Yep. Did you get that last part, Brittany?
these,
I'm
I-
sorry, can you repeat? Was it the condition we were adding? That's what I was writing.
yeah, the condition is that the meets and bounds subdivision of the property will be approved
Okay.
prior to
Mhm. And
moving
then-
ahead with construction, but it kind of goes without saying,
Yeah.
but we should say it, so.
If you could include in the motion, fifth condition that staff and city engineer will approve the grading and impervious plan prior to land use permit.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
It's a good thing that we have magicians working here.
Approve the findings of fact and everything. Approve the findings of fact and everything.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's part of the motion also would be that we approve the findings of fact that were presented by the city, so,
Yep.
okay,
Okay. so
That's the
can I
motion.
just repeat this, please?
okay.
Okay, so we are gonna take the staff recommendations 1 through 4. We're adding a condition that the meets and bounds is approved prior to start of construction, and that the staff and city engineer will approve the grading and impervious coverage calculation.
And utility plans, because they have to approve the utility, hook up to the sewer and the water as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep.
I got it.
Better.
So that was Gary. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Linda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
See, unanimous. Votes don't come unanimous here very often.
All right, I make a motion to close public hearings. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, new business, meets and bounds subdivision application 011-20 to subdivide an existing parcel into two. The subject property is located at the intersection of County Road 18 and State Highway 371. PID 281206666, owner Paul and Patricia Dellum, applicant Bob Johnson. I was here. If you'd like to make a public comment regarding this project, please step towards the podium and state your name and address. Being none, I'll close public comments. And do we have any additional comments from commissioner members about the subdivision?
No, I went through it in detail. The parcels and the descriptions, and I know these people had to prepare them, and I mean, it's really nice work. So, I mean, it's good that way. But at the last meeting, I did make a comment that I would like to see this whole area platted so that life gets simpler. So we got lots 1, 2, 3, 4 around this circle, and then after that, there's never any problems. But apparently, it's not going to happen. So, but that's just my opinion. So.
Mr. Johnson and I did talk about that as an option, and it was about triple the cost, and it still fit with.
I realize it.
No, I just wanted to
it
make
was-
sure you knew I did address it.
And we discussed it and it was timeline as well.
I understand.
Yeah, so
Been there, done that.
whoever gets to purchase, this property will come up for sale. Whoever gets to purchase this then gets to go through the process.
But I'm just big on simplifying title, that's all. You have good people working for you, though.
I like them.
We already touched on this, but I just want to make sure that I say it for the record. We did confirm that the property to the south does have legal access off 371 as well
Yeah.
as that easement. I just wanted to make sure that we touched on that.
Okay.
They could. It depends on where the development happened.
Mark, did you have any questions about the subdivision?
Nope.
All right, any additional comments?
Be nice to get rid of the billboards. There's no way you can get rid of them, huh?
Let's put it this way. They wanted to keep them there forever. That was an option the outdoor advertising company had in the contract, that they had the right to take them and keep them in perpetuity. And I have gotten them to the point where in the spring, we will start a 10-year lease. And that was the least in length that I could get.
So 10 years from now, they'll disperse.
We'll be dead.
None of us will care, I know
Yeah.
that. Okay. You looking for a motion? I'll make a motion that meets and bounds subdivision application 011-20 by Bob Johnson, owner of the property, Paul and Patricia Doolum, be approved according to the findings of fact and the recommendations of the planning staff. I see without,
I'll second that, but is there a parcel number that goes with that?
No, well, not in and of itself, but that's part of the 6661. 281-20666.
So we know where it's going.
All right, do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second by Bob. All those in favor?
aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Congrats, good luck.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Notice.
Just to make life simpler do you know when you'll get a 911 address assigned to it from the county?
We could apply for that tomorrow, really, if you wanted to.
Can we
It's-
apply
it's up-
without having a final purchase closed on the property yet?
It's a great question. I will double check and email you in the morning. I believe
Well,
so, but I.
Because
should
right now they're doing the
confirm.
title search and everything else. I was waiting for tonight. Now we'll close on the property.
Okay,
I would, just don't wait till
No,
right,
May of 2021 to do it.
yeah.
It's just helpful for everybody, sometime by the end of this year.
we'll do it ASAP.
Yeah, just
Sounds good.
always helps.
It happens pretty fast.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Looking forward to swinging some clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's free. It's family business.
Have a senior night?
All right, moving on to old business, we have none. So can I have the planning and zoning administrators report from Brittany?
Yes, this last month, we had 13 approved permits. We had 4 new violations, and we had 3 correspondence letters in your packet. First, are there any questions on any of the things that are in your packet?
Yes, I have a
Yeah.
question. So with Crow Wing County recently passing their ordinance, how are they communicating that with you and how are you going to be enforcing that?
As far as the VRBO,
Yeah,
we still have our own ordinance. So
Okay.
as far as we're concerned, they don't really have much in
doesn't
this
matter.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
With these VRBOs, how did you, was it a complaint based that you followed up on?
Correct, yep, complaints.
Do you think that the city going forward is going to do more research? Because there's a lot more than 4 of them.
Oh, there's hundreds.
Yeah.
Depending on how all of you feel, my thought was, October, November, bring forth the county's ordinance and consider adopting that as well, just because I think that this isn't an issue that's going away. So I think that we need to adapt our approach. But we don't have to adopt it if you guys aren't comfortable with that either.
Okay.
I also, on that note, I wanted to give you kind of an update on the big view of our violations. So far this year, we've had 9. As of this morning, 7 had been resolved. I do have a meeting either at the end of this week, beginning of next week, to confirm that another one has been resolved. So at this point, I feel comfortable stating that we have 1 true violation still in existence. So we're moving in the right direction. There's obviously always room for improvement, but we're at least going the right way.
I have a question
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna use this as an example.
Mhm.
The second sheet is, police, yep, on the land use permits, the
Okay.
second one. It's for 25,633 Centennial Lane, it says up on the top, at the address.
Yep.
Okay, and this is just a theoretical question, but if you go through all of these, this particular one caught my eye because it's got a 4,232 square foot dwelling with attached garage, blah, 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 blah. Estimated project value, $160,000. And the permit is based on the value, I assume, so it's $350 for the permit. Well, I don't know how anybody can build a house of 4,230 square feet for 160 grand, because if they do, I'm gonna get in touch with that builder.
Yeah.
Now, it seems to me that this is just something that looks like somebody just trying to keep the permit price down. The value of this building should be closer just, to
Starts with
$300,000, $400,000.
Yeah, I think that,
$150 a foot, it's probably reasonable today, and it's probably going up.
has the city ever considered adopting a more realistic finished square footage dollar amount rather
We-
than having them declare value?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
that we're explicitly going away from them declaring values, but I know that Jenny has been working on an updated fee schedule. To be honest, I don't know where she's at with that, but I can touch base with her and just kind of get a gauge of where we are. But I know that it's at least in the works.
Because there's others in here where
Yeah.
somebody had a house of, that was a couple thousand square feet, and they paid a permit price that's higher than this, and it's just, they obviously don't know what's going on, but it just seems to me that we should be looking at these, and it's like if you went down and sold your car or tried to register the car you buy, and you tell them how much you pay for it. Well, I paid $1,200. Well, they look it up on the Kelly Blue Book, and it's $12,000, and that's what you pay the tax on.
Just to make it more equitable.
And it just seems to me that our planning department should be doing the same thing. We should have some reasonable dollar value per square foot per building.
Unless you sell it to a family member, then it's $1.
Depends on the family.
Yeah, well, right. Some of you might not like so much.
Well, but I think.
No, I was surprised. I sold something and I went in and, no, she says, family, $1. Because they get so tired of the game of value. If it's a direct family member, it's $1.
Yep.
I didn't know that till I sold something. This was many years ago, but yeah.
You mean as a car?
Yeah.
Okay. But not.
It was actually a motorcycle.
But I bet you can't go down to Baxter and do this.
No.
You know, I'll lay odds on it that the fee down Baxter would be 5 times what this is.
You have a lot of family members all of a sudden.
Well, we're talking houses here, not cars.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Just a point of information. I think you should come up with some kind of magic number and multiply it out and say, well, this is what we base our fee structure on.
Well, I know some cities will get like a kind of an overview from all the different contractors in the area, so you can get kind of an average of what they charge per finished square feet. So,
Yeah, it'd be very easy to get from, say, the top 6 builders in here. You know, and it's not 150, they're in the 250 range right now. Business is good.
Yeah, and I'm just, you know,
Yeah.
it's just a ridiculously low per square foot number,
Yeah.
that's all.
That's the basement.
yeah,
The biggest thing, Breezy Point, Baxter, have full-time building inspection departments that inspect. This was not adopted the state building code. You get no service for your fee.
No, I understand.
Yeah, so, well,
No,
just,
I understand.
don't compare it to a Baxter.
No.
I know where you're at. You're-
No, I
you're
understand.
perfectly correct.
No, I understand. But I
I'm just
think we
offering
should
to
have,
staff.
I just think we should have some semblance of stability here where if Mr. Dokes pays $100 for a permit for something, somebody, Mr. Jones should also pay 100, not 50. So that's all. So
you're right.
that's how you get a raise, by raising your fees.
All right, any additional questions, comments? All right,
Other than that,
Just a question, anything unusual on the next meeting?
Our next meeting will be larger than last ones that we've had, but nothing too alarming. We do have a variance from a wetland setback, a Mets and bounds, a preliminary plat review, and a vacation request.
any
And that'll
new,
be September 1st.
Correct, yep.
any new fires coming from our friends at Grandview and?
No, I did receive a picture in an email the other day, though, that they have a sign out offering to sell the Pine Trail, or not Pine Trail, North Pines homes, though, so
Oh,
that
okay.
was
So they're starting
surprising.
an advertising program anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a 2021 project for design.
I'm really not
Awesome.
sure. I don't have anything, at least as of now, but I'm assuming 2021.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I just have, one thing I just wanted to mention, since I'm new to this commission. I went to the League of Minnesota Cities just to get a little more information since I'm new to P&Z. They had a great resource for planning and zoning 101, reading up on that, gave a little more knowledge. And then I'm going to be attending a webinar that they're putting on. That's September 21st, what to do when people disagree. It's aimed towards folks like you, but there's no reason that I can't,
No,
you
absolutely.
know, watch that. And there's no charge for it or anything. So just trying to learn a little bit more about city and the commission and keep myself apprised of that.
I appreciate that. If I see anything come through into my email, I'll also pass it along to all of you as well.
Yeah.
Sounds
But
good.
it's a great, League of Minnesota Cities, good resource, as I read through the site.
You know, I turned right to listen to Linda and I happened to look over your shoulder and I just noticed our technological leap into video up on the screen.
Mhm.
Ah,
Don't worry, you're all looking great tonight. Don't worry.
Impressive. I didn't think my hair was that white though, to tell you the truth.
What here?
Most people don't know about
It's
it.
just the pigment of the projector. Don't worry
Yeah, it
about
must be the lighting.
it. Yep,
all
that's
right.
all I have. Dave.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bob. All those in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
Good meeting. Nice and quick.
Thank you all. You all did a wonderful job.